I have Crohn's disease, and this is how I make extra soft bread rolls that have been safe to eat for me while I'm on an EEN liquid diet, and it hasn't caused a single issue while I'm dealing with a stricture. Currently have a lot of complications with this disease. That's a whole separate video. I am going to list what all the measurements are for these rolls, but I do have a recipe card at the end so you can save and screenshot. Because this is a really high moisture dough, I start off making a tangzong paste. This is 20 grams of bread flour, 100 grams of milk mixed over a low to medium heat. You want to get it nice and combined until it resembles mashed potatoes. It can take a few minutes, but once it's done, just take off the heat so it cools before you add it to the dough. In another bowl, put 280 grams of bread flour, 35 grams of sugar, 5 grams of salt, and 7 grams of instant yeast. You'll then need 120 grams of warm milk. The only thing is I don't actually have a microwave, so I find it quicker to put the cold glass of milk in a mug of boiling water, and that seems to work. Once the tangzong paste is cooled and the milk is warm, roughly about the same temperature, you want to add 35 grams of softened butter gradually into the stand mixer. Because this is such a high moisture dough, I do recommend using a stand mixer as it gets very sticky and very messy. Then I measure out 40 grams of double cream and then add that to the mixture as well. As you will start to see, it will get very thick, very pasty, and it really doesn't resemble dough, but you do have to just trust the process on this one. Generously oil a bowl for you to prove in. I just used vegetable oil for this one. Scrape out as much as you can and then put into the oiled bowl. You can kind of see here why I recommend using a stand mixer. Now, I didn't always have a stand mixer for this recipe, so it can definitely be done. It just needs a little bit of extra patience. Cover with a clean cloth and then leave somewhere warm for about an hour to an hour and a half until it doubles in size roughly. After the first rise is done, you want to prepare for the second. Line a baking sheet with grease-proof paper. Generously flour your surface. Now, this next step very much depends on how many rolls you want to make. I did 10 small ones, or you can just make 8 standard ones. Now, this next step isn't necessary, but I did weigh the entire dough to then divide by 10 so I could have 10 equal rolls. Most of the time I do just eyeball it. You want to smooth the tops and pinch the bottoms, just so they're nice and even looking. And then once they're done, you can just place them on the baking sheet, making sure they've got lots of space to prove. Don't underestimate the power of the second proof. They do rise quite a bit. For the second rise, you can just leave them for 45 minutes to an hour. On this day, I made the rolls, a no-knead loaf and some soup. This soup has been cleared by my dietitian as it's just 4 ingredients and pretty low fibre. The recipe's on my page if you want it. So once I'd cooked and cooled all that, I could then check on my rolls and they were pretty much done. Look at that. Just have a cheeky sneak peek of my no-knead loaf. Yeah, nice one. Make sure your oven is preheated to 180 and then put them in for 15 minutes. Then I made my healthier half his dinner. Just look at all that colour and fibre. Now these rolls do come out looking pretty perfect, but do not skip this step of glazing the top of your buns with butter. Now, I don't have one of those pastry brushes yet. We've only just moved in this house, so cut us some slack. Glazing them turns them from basic bread rolls to brioche babes. They are just delightful. Look at them. Golden, beautiful, no filter.